We see an expert to check up on our health. We see an expert to check up on our car. Why don't we do the same with our finances? Jump online and book a free personal financial health check with Jeff Bowman from Wealth by Design. Knowledge is power. Follow the link on edgeradioaustralia.com. Design a future for you and your children. Wealth by Design.
It's Edge Radio Australia time. In fact, one of the best times of the week, quite frankly. I get to hang out with this fella here. It is Jeff Bowman from Wealth by Design. The show is Wealth by Design. Good to see you, my friend.
Likewise, Aaron, and thank you for making your time available again today, mate. You're very hospitable with these shows.
Always a pleasure, always a pleasure. Guess what we're going to talk about today? Hang on, I might get a word in. I'm not sure. I reckon you're a little bit excited about this. Now, this is interesting because I'm going to tell you the subject. Well, you obviously know, and tell everyone the subject, what we're going to talk about. But it's interesting because you brought this up to me, and I was actually going to ask you about it because I'm getting asked, and so many people are coming to me and talking to me about it. All of this talk about gold and silver at the moment, it is just everywhere, right? Everybody seems to be focused on it. Silver specifically, we've seen massive increases in the value of silver. We've seen volatility too, I might add, up and down.
Yeah.
Mate, okay. I mean, obviously, you've got the Wealth 99 platform, which is just outstanding when it comes to gold and silver, in my opinion, anyway.
Yeah.
I mean, this is, these are my
very learned opinion.
Oh, you get, I don't do educate. Well, I don't do education because, you're clearly the man with that. But I mean, that's why, neither of us actually give advice. This is very much a conversation about, our particular needs and, what other people can do with them.
It is education only, Aaron.
100%. So, all right. Tell me first and foremost, right, why is silver the hot ticket right now? Why is everybody talking about it?
Well, it's actually had a very, very significant spike in valuation.
Yep.
And that is what's obviously caught a lot of people's attention. People were thinking of buying it a few years ago, and they're very happy that they have now.
Yes.
Because, it's had a very significant increase in price, Aaron. For years and years and years, gold as well, mind you, sat at relatively low levels of valuation.
Sure.
But as you mentioned, silver, I mean, like you can go back to, 2014, 2016, $40 an ounce.
Yeah, we're talking about much bigger numbers now, aren't we?
We are, yeah.
I mean, silver used to be kind of, I don't know, the redhead stepchild of gold. It was the lesser sort of that we talked about, pun intended. But now that seems to be the one with the volatility. That seems to be the one that's really
cranked up. Yes. Well, I think it's about $120 an ounce.
120. There you go. Okay.
Yeah, and so whilst we're talking, I will just do a little spot check.
Okay.
Here, with the. With ABC Bullion House.
Now, this is a really interesting thing on this because of availability.
Perth Mint as well, yeah.
Yes, yeah.
Because you've got situations where what's the demand, for these precious metals? Yep. And so what's the demand for gold? Well, storage of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Governments hold it.
Sure.
China, America, big holders of gold. Peter Costello sold all of our gold when he was treasurer, you might recall.
I certainly do.
And so, yes, it's certainly a storage of wealth. Mm-hmm. It's got a market cap of about 22 trillion.
It's not a small number.
Yeah. Now, silver, and that was like that. I'm quoting that number from about 6 months ago.
Okay.
So gold will be higher as a market cap now.
Right.
So total investable assets globally about 550 trillion. Gold 6 months ago was around 22 trillion.
Okay.
Silver was around 4 trillion. Gives you a bit of an idea.
Yeah.
Global value of.
Sure.
Yeah. So, but if you look at silver, and getting back to your question, it's jewelry.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There's a need for jewelry.
Of course.
There's a need for storage of wealth.
Mm-hmm.
Now, you could look at around 22 to 25% each for jewelry, like global valuation.
Yeah.
So if you went to that 4 trillion,
you're right.
22, 23% of that is jewelry.
Okay, so
around 25% is storage of wealth.
Right.
right?
So pretty much half of it.
Half.
Near enough. Yeah.
So where do you reckon the other half is?
Well,
Which is really gets to your question as to why it's rocketed in value. It's done 250% increase in value in the last 12 months.
Okay, well, this is where, in conversations, I try and sound like I'm smarter than I am, right? But to my mind, this is why I think silver's going so well, because of technology, because every chip out there, every robot, every electric car, the new batteries that are coming out, all of this stuff that's happening, there's so much going on, and you could probably expand a lot further than I can, but all of that tech needs silver. It's the great conductor, and when that industry is changing and that market is so huge compared to how it used to be, because now everything we touch has got a computer chip in it, right? With that, well, okay, obviously the supply versus demand goes through the roof, and there's only so much supply, right?
Yep, spot on. Yeah. So, mate, you're very well researched. You've largely done my job for me.
Okay, sorry.
No apologies at all. So you go supply and demand. You've brought that up. So supply and demand. There's the actual supply of total silver from mining and from the industry is around 30,000 tons a year.
Okay.
If you think in terms of tons.
Sure.
Now, the current supply versus demand, there's a 20% gap.
Okay.
Right. And that's really only spiked up in the last sort of 12 months.
Right.
And so 20% of production less than demand.
Okay.
Or 20% of demand less than production.
Okay. Hence the price going up.
So that's the big thing on the price.
Okay.
So now you get back to your very, very well researched reasons for it, and you're spot on. Every solar panel. So if you're a believer in the green energy thing,
sure,
and man's continuation on advancing in technology, so it's green energy solar panels,
sure,
right? Electric vehicles, like the latest electric vehicle technology for batteries, is a full charge in 8 minutes. Right?
I mean, that's game-changing tech.
Game-changing. Yeah. How much silver's in that battery? Around about 200 grams.
Is that much?
Okay. Yeah. Right. So it's very significant demand in new tech EV batteries, solar panels, electric chips in all your gear you've got around here, right? Yep. There's silver in all of it. Even silver in X-rays, of course. The old X-ray. They still do X-rays. There's silver in X-rays.
And look how fast you get that tech. Okay, remember when you had to go away for your X-rays, you come back. Yeah. Now it's all very quick.
Look at the pictures.
Yeah, the tech's changed so much.
Dead right. And then of course you go, oh, what else makes up the 50 to 55% of the total demand for silver, being the industrial use. Okay. So not jewelry, not storage of wealth, but industrial robots. You had Elon Musk come out the other day and said he will oversee the production of 1 billion robots.
I can't fathom
that. That's a B.
Yeah, I mean, I've got so many. I'm conflicted on this because I watched Terminator 2, but on the other side of it is okay. When we talk about robots too, we always think about the robots, walking around the house doing housework and all of that, right? But okay, look at a modern plant of any description. You look at any manufacturing. Robots everywhere you go.
Yeah.
I mean, you look at auto production now, there's barely a hand that touches it.
Yeah.
It's all done that way. Now, all of those robots need this tech. So when he talks about those numbers, you think, oh, that's ridiculous. You think, oh my God, that's 1 in 6 human beings, who's going to have a robot. Kind of doesn't work that way because of all those industries, I gather anyway.
No, that's spot on. And so if you're a believer that, the humans will continue to want to use those areas of industry, the product from those industries with solar panels and tech and computers, and industry will use robots, then there can only be a very, very significant increase in the price of silver because I said someone the other day, no quote, no advice, but someone said, look, I'm getting into silver because I think there's a 3 or 4 times growth in the silver price for the next few years, because what you can rationalize in your mind the demand. Okay. It's not just a storage of wealth. It's not just for jewelry. Over half is industrially driven. And therein lies a very believable and real underlying use case for the demand.
Sure.
To support the ongoing demand.
And I'll flip gold into this just for a moment. We don't even think about this very often, but gold is often used in tech as a heat shield. You know, it's in a lot of things. You know, you think of gold, you think of rings and jewelry and this and that.
Yeah.
But it's used in a lot of things. So both of these, precious metals are invaluable to society moving forward. Right.
Yeah.
When it comes to silver, you don't just go and go, oh, we need to dig silver out of the ground. It's a byproduct.
Yeah. Okay.
So other industries. So, I mean, give me an idea of what industries you need to produce silver, because silver being the
fantastic question. You've got this whole supply demand issue. You go, how do we fix it quickly? It's almost impossible to fix quickly because how many silver mines have you heard of starting up? They hardly exist. No. Silver is a byproduct of producing other metals. So nickel, copper, gold. You'll have silver where you've got major gold miners. So split the silver off.
Sure.
So it's almost an impossible thing to fix quickly because there's that piece of the supply chain, digging it out of the ground.
Yep.
Right. And difficult because it's not just, let's do a silver mine. It's like, where's the silver and the other stuff that we're mining? Yeah. The other piece is the refinery process, right? Like the boss of the Perth Mint got on the blower the other day with 720.
Right. Did he really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Nadia. Okay. Yeah. I like Nadia. She's a bit left for my liking, but
geez, we can save her, mate. Don't worry about that.
We should get her in.
Well, 720. I mean, yeah. At least it's not 6PR. Pinch all our ideas from Edge, but never mind.
But anyway, this bloke came on who was the CEO or something of the Perth Mint.
Yep.
And he's going, look, we've got people lining up in the streets wanting to buy silver and gold. Like they line up to come in and buy it. They've got their cash.
Yep.
And and he said, we've got a real problem at the moment with our product. Now he said we don't have a problem with the raw silver, but we've got a real issue with being able to have our refinery produce the products. So the products are ingots.
Yeah, okay.
The products are coins.
Yeah,
right?
Of course.
That people can put in their handbag and take it home and put in their safe, because that's what they're buying it for. They're not buying gold so they can take it to their dentist to melt it down for a gold tooth. It's going home to their safe.
We're kind of doing what we did 100 odd years ago. It's history repeating itself.
And I know, and it's humanity being scared about the printing of money and the volatility around the world and instability and political instability and so forth and so on. So that drives it. But the Perth Mint bloke was very, very clear that they've got an issue. Right. So they're basically saying to people, look, if you want to buy this and this product, put your order in, but we can't guarantee supply for a while. And they're not even putting a time on it.
Really?
Yeah, because the demand's building and building. And then on the counter side, their refinery has only a limited capacity.
Right.
And so you mentioned Wealth 99 before, because that sort of dovetails into it a bit.
Well, that's the reason I ask. And I'll ask you a little quick question on this. Okay. It's about, you're holding wealth, all right, in these precious metals, in this silver.
Yeah.
The thing why I brought up Wealth 99 is because obviously I don't know about the capacity. I want to ask you that. But the other thing that was about the fact that you've got the security of that system, of the Wealth 99 system. That's very different. And that I think that's what makes it different to other products out there.
Well, the Wealth 99 is simply a platform. Okay. It's a secure platform that it's the only digital asset platform in the country that's got institutional grade custodian protection for assets on platform.
And what the assets are real world assets.
They're real world assets. There's about 18 cryptos and there's gold, silver and platinum.
Okay.
Right. Now this solves the problem queuing at the Perth Mint. Okay. Yeah. Because what they've done, very clever, they've got tokenized gold, silver, and platinum. Now, when you say that to someone sort of off the bat, they go, "Oh, sure, it's a wild algorithm. It's not real." I'm just having a punt into thin ether. Of course, that's just an ignorant statement. Because,
very much so.
Because it's if you understand how ETFs work, or exchange traded funds, which financial planners have been using forever, you've got a real product backing an ETF.
Jeff, this is why education is everything in this. Okay, if you don't know that, you don't know that you're buying you might think you're buying a crypto, you might be thinking you're buying something that's not secured. You don't know what's tangible at the other end. When we're talking about gold, we're talking about silver, we're talking about platinum. They are real world. They are tangible assets, and they're held on a platform. Right?
That's right. And the key is, once again, we've talked about it lots of times. It's having the knowledge and understanding what a tokenized asset actually is. I'll give you an example. I had a bloke from South Africa just before Christmas. He said, so what you're saying, Jeff, I could put $1 million worth of, I could invest $1 million in gold on your platform, and you're telling me it's real. And I said, absolutely, it's 100% real. He said, but it's just a message on a digital platform. I give you $1 million to buy digital gold assets on your platform. Where does the actual $1 million go? Well, it goes into this platform, and it's immediately transferred across to the next best thing, or a better organisation, which is called ABC Bullion House in New South Wales. So they are almost, if not the largest company in Australia. Like, they turned over 18 billion last year. 18 billion. 18 billion.
That's more than Gina's got.
It's more than
stuffed in the couch,
it's
mate.
More than Gina. It's more than Gina. Yeah.
Wow.
So that started off as a little jewelry company like 40 years ago. It's about 3 families. It's a very, very interesting company. And so to this South African fella, I said, this is exactly what happens. You put $1 million on this platform, which is fully insured and guaranteed. The cash immediately goes through to the ABC Bullion House, and it buys $1 million worth of gold.
Right.
Now, you've got allocated and you've got unallocated. This is unallocated. Okay. Unallocated means that the Bullion House guarantees that they have that gold in the vault. Okay. To back your $1 million of cash that you just put on this platform. Right. That's what it means. Okay. And so a tokenized asset is exactly that. And they've got gold, silver, and platinum. And so you can look up the ABC Bullion website, abcbullion.com.au, and you can see all the prices. Aussie dollars, gold, silver, platinum, palladium. Okay. 4 precious metals. Okay. And you go, and on the Wealth 99 platform, they only have 3, gold, silver, platinum. Okay. Not the palladium. It's got, and so the people queuing up at the Perth Mint, this platform absolutely solves that problem, 100% insured. Okay. And 100% real. It's just a digital version of the actual asset that secures their digital asset on this platform. So if they woke up one night and had a bit of a nightmare about, the internet's going to go down because the North Koreans have bombed the bloody joint or whatever, and they think, oh my God, I wish I'd gone and got physical gold, they can physically do this. They can go, look, I've got $1 million on the Wealth 99 platform. Yep. I'm going to hedge my bets here. I want $500,000 of real gold, okay, in physical gold that I can put under the under my house in a safe. Sure. And I'll keep the other $500,000 on the platform. So all they do is they tell the Wealth 99 people, I want to go to the ABC Bullion House in St. George's Terrace, and we want to come and collect $500,000 worth of gold, and they make it available. Is that right? You bloody back your truck up, and you put $500,000 worth of gold in your suitcase and take it in your car, take your big brother with you just in case you get mugged on the street. That's right. And then you can take it home and put it in your safe. And so then they just take $500,000 of the digital gold off the platform and strike you off. And so that is actually big news for people that are worried about, I need to get my gold or my silver or my platinum now because I'm worried about building up my wealth assets in precious metals. Yeah. And you're hedging your bets. I mean, hedging really, and your safety's there from my point of view. This is how I read it anyway. You've got the fact that it's insured. Yep. Bingo. I mean, that's just huge. You've got the NAB, the major
Okay.
backers of the licensed custodian,
Right.
along with State and Chartered Bank out of London and SBI in Japan, like three of the biggest financial institutions in the world, own Zodia, that is the licensed custodian that guarantees your assets on this platform are 100% safe.
I'm going to throw something in that I don't think people would think about in the strangest possible way. I think that because, we often think, oh, we'll take the gold home, we'll have it at home because it's safer there, the old story of under the mattress or whatever. The saying safest houses is not always true. I have lived this experience. So, and I'm not playing the woe is me story. The reality is
not a funny thing, but
no, but you got to put a smile on your face about things. So, for me, hey, my house burnt down. Yeah. Now, if my house had burnt down with $500,000 worth of gold, I would have cried more than I did.
You just got to go into the ruins though and dig it up.
Yeah, mate, I'm out there with shovels.
It'll be there. It might be a bit singed.
Off I go. No, but my point is I actually see it the other way. I see the security in another way. I see if it's in the platform, Wealth 99, and it's there and it's insured and all that, I actually feel safer about that than taking it home.
And so you should.
Yeah, and then people got different ideas, but that's how I see it.
Yeah, we look up Standard Chartered Bank. We look up the NAB. These guys physically hold your wallets for you, and the insurance covers it.
Right.
So, like, if they go onto a platform on the Wealth 99 platform and try and hack your account, well, there's nothing there to hack, and that's what custodian. Oh, here we go. What's William got to say?
Well, William's got a lot to say. I didn't. I brought it up there, and then I thought to myself, "That is huge. How will I possibly read it?" I'll leave it for those to read.
Gold as well as we're all designed.
Okay, there we go. There's a lot to read there.
He's into it. Well done, William.
I'll tell you what, he's very interesting.
Well, he's not holding back at all.
Good on you, mate. You know what? We've all got our opinions, and
thankfully we live in a democracy, and everyone's got a say.
Yeah. Well, until our boy outlaws that as well, but we'll keep going. But look, that's a perfect example. We do have different ways of looking at things. My way, I'm actually more comfortable with my assets being held by somebody else because of the experiences of my life, right? And obviously, that William has had different experiences to me. So we're all very different. I think for me, the security is a big thing, and also. A question I was going to ask you, sort of winding back a little bit. Now, you said before about the Perth Mint, or I don't want to sort of harass the Perth Mint, but if they can't supply, okay, and you go in there to buy it, are you buying it at today's price, or are you buying it on the price that they finally deliver?
Oh, it had to be on the price they finally deliver.
Yeah. Now
they're not guaranteeing the price.
100%.
When you collect it on the day.
Yeah. So to my mind, what I'm getting at is, okay, if that's going to be a period of time, you may lose out a lot on that investment.
Yeah.
Whereas, of course, if you go through this channel, what's your advantage here? Okay, your advantage is you're getting it immediately. It's getting much quicker.
On the price. On the price on the screen.
Yeah. So you're making an investment with greater knowledge.
Less fees, 0.5% buying fee.
Okay.
Yeah. And and the price moves quite a bit because it's revalued all the time. So often exactly what you're buying, your price is when you press. It's not exactly, but you've got to understand there's a tiny bit of spread.
Okay.
But it's
but the spread's not 3 months.
No. No.
While you're waiting for it to be delivered.
Little spread on the price because you've got buying and sellers, you see. So you've got to when you go onto a live platform, there's a little bit of an arbitrage in there. But you're dead right. You're not waiting 3 months and you're buying it, and it's all live. It's 24/7 pricing, right? And it's just an exciting new technology that is available. I mean, I went to Melbourne recently and they said, "Who's this bloody Wealth 99? I've never heard of them." I said, "What?" I said, "Yeah, no,
where have you been?
Never heard of
right,
Where you been? Yeah." So we've got a bit of marketing to do there. But there was another time before with William would probably appreciate this, that there has been periods of history where governments have said, you can't hold gold.
Yes.
We want to hold it all, or we're going to start taking the gold off you. And, because that all brings into account the power of Big Brother and governments making decisions over people's lives.
That's right.
And it was only a discussion this morning I had with the power of people like Elon Musk. They'd go, well, he needs them for his rockets. He needs them for his Teslas.
Yeah.
Right? He'll probably need them in the computers that runs all the boring operations under New York. And why wouldn't he go to his political mates, Trumpy,
Yeah, hang on, mate.
and go, hey, Trumpy, we don't want America selling any of our silver reserves. We want to keep it here because I need it for my rockets and my cars, because China have just made an announcement.
Okay.
They have restricted, only like the last few days, China have put a restriction on the amount of silver that's been allowed to take out of China.
Ooh,
Bloody
that is telling, mate.
Yeah, very much so.
Well, I'm going to throw a little cat amongst the pigeons here, okay? AI is taking over everything, okay? Absolutely going bananas. And we're just at the, we're right on the start line of this, really, in a lot of ways, certainly in a retail sense. Right. Now, AI requires incredible computing power. You need very powerful and lots of them to make that work. Well, guess what computers are full of, mate?
Yeah.
Right? So, there's another market is what I'm getting at.
And data centers.
Yeah.
I mean, I've got an old client in Houston, and he's got a very, very senior job with a very big company in the energy world. And he's just decided to buy a house there. Okay. He's a Perth bloke. He's based in Korean, but he's been on contract with this energy company for 5 years or so.
Right.
And I said, "Well, you're going to buy a house there for?" He said, "Well," he said, "things are really moving in Houston." And interesting that you've got a bloody big following in Houston.
Houston, we love Houston. Tell you what, we do very well in Houston.
We've got a problem, Houston.
Yeah, that's right.
Anyway, so I said, "What's they do?" He said, "Well, mate, they're building all these data centers."
Right.
And of course, and Elon Musk is part of that, of course. But the data centers is where they talk about in the cloud. Well, we know what it is, right? It's in these bloody data centers on the ground.
Yeah.
And he said, that's a massive new economy there. I reckon there'll be a bit of silver in those data centers.
Again, back to electronics. And to me, this is where it's going to be. And this is why, in my mind, and again, this is just my opinion, this desire, this need, this supply and demand, well, the demand is not going to change. In fact, it's just going to higher and higher because our reliance on tech just doesn't stop. I look in this building, everything has a chip in it. Okay. I've even got one on my shoulder. It's but it's just reality of life. And why the hell would you not invest with something that has nowhere to go but up? In my opinion, I can't see it going.
What if it's in your postmaker?
No. I've got a big handle on my back that just wind me up every single day. Mate, just quickly, very, very briefly, if I may, can we just talk about Wealth 99 for a minute? Because as far as I want people to appreciate the difference here. There's the fact that, again, to me, one of the great things that stands out is this insured situation. Yeah. Because people are, look, you're worried about your future, your financial future, your money, you work hard for it. Yep. You don't want to leave it in a situation where it's not insured and you lose it. Yes. Can you run through some of the fundamentals of how that works?
Yeah, okay, very easily. You go from Web 2 Google to Web 3 blockchain, right? It's the next leap up in technology.
Gotcha.
And on these blockchain platforms, you have digital wealth platforms, you have crypto exchanges, over 930 crypto exchanges all around the world. And the Wealth 99 is not a trader platform, it's a wealth accumulator platform. Okay. So you've got three types of crypto people. You've got speculators. Yep. They bet on a fly going up the wall. Great tip at the barbecue.
Yeah, a lot of those.
You have traders that are professional people that trade, and they trade crypto.
Sure.
The Wealth 99 platform is not for them. The only clients we deal with are professional investors.
Yeah.
Now, professional investors doesn't mean you've got to have a minimum of 250 grand. It means you can have a minimum of $100, right? So it's a retail platform.
Yeah.
But these are people that are wanting to build up their wealth. So they will diversify their retirement assets, either accumulating assets or once they've retired, they still want to accumulate, keep pace with inflation. And so it's a digital wealth platform to have crypto. Only about 18 of the top 13,000 of crypto coins. So you can safely say out of the top 20 crypto coins, say this is rough.
Mm-hmm.
But if you do the analysis on the other 80 out of the top 100, they're largely rubbish. And they don't have underlying use cases or real business cases. So they'll disagree with the dodo bird, most of those. So you got, on the Wealth 99 platform, you've got the only assets that people want to invest in, Bitcoin, Ethereum, Solana, et cetera, et cetera. And then you've got tokenized assets, gold, silver, and platinum, which is a link in with the real bullion that sits in a safe with ABC. And then you've got the NAB backing the licensed custodian, along with Standard Chartered Bank out of London and SBI out of Japan. So they're massive global institutions that own the wallets that the assets sit in.
Sure.
They hold them in custody for you, the investor, which is the standard security for all wealth platforms around the world.
I like the fact that there's one that's Australian based. Okay. We're talking about one in Japan and one in the UK.
Yeah. So
we've covered the world there. I mean, obviously haven't hit the US, but as far as the spread, again, where I'm saying that is, again, risk. You're being cared for. There is security, I guess, from the point of view of it's not all your eggs in one basket or one sector of the world. Okay.
Yeah. Well, I mean, the Colonial First State platform we used as one of our platforms for our financial planning company. I had to ask answer one of my clients' questions. He said, well, I've got 650 grand here. If the CBA, who owned Colonial First State at the time, they go broke, have I lost all my dough? And I had to say no. And he said, why not? I said, well, you've got licensed custodians that hold your cash, your shares, your bonds.
Yep.
In custody for you. So the CBA can go broke, Colonial First State goes broke, it's just a platform. Okay. The assets are held over here, and you go to the custodian to get your cash and your bonds and your BHP shares back. See, that's how it works.
There's layers.
That's how it works. Yeah. And so I had to give him 5 licensed custodians who are jointly and severally liable for looking after all of his cash and his assets. There were 2 in Europe, 2 in America, and 1 in Australia.
Right.
And that's what a licensed custodian does. And if you're confident with the solidness of those industries, then you're confident with the security of your assets on any platform, whether it's a W99 platform or any of the others. Yeah.
I just whacked up there on the screen, wealthbydesign.com.au. If you've got a lot of questions, or even a few, even a couple, talk to this man, book him directly, come and have a bit of a conversation about this. I can't tell you how much his knowledge, his expertise, but also, mate, a couple of things. I'll tell you a couple of advantages he's got on other people, in my eyes. You've got great humility and you speak like an everyday Aussie. Okay. You don't use massively long words that I'm going to have to get a thesaurus out there to actually understand what they're about.
That's very kind.
Well, when you're talking about finance, I think, and so many worlds, you can make it overly complicated. This is your passion. This is what you're good at. And of course, the great thing with you too, the network that you've built, well, you can talk about some of the things, but you can also refer to other experts that will help you on that.
Completely, yeah. Like, we're not financial planners any longer. So we've got a team of financial advisors all over the country where I know those planners are great and they'll fit the personalities for my clients.
Yeah.
And it's legal or finance or planning, cybersecurity. We've got probably about a dozen professions within our network that we refer our clients to.
And another point I'll make, well, I'm giving you all the love your direction, is that many years ago I used a financial planning company myself, and to look after my assets and trying to build something. It's all right, a couple of marriages sorted that right out. It's no longer a problem.
Turning $1 into 50 cents twice.
I'm good at it. But yeah, if you want a small fortune, that's what I make it from a large one. But where I'm going to go on this is that here's just something I've noticed from a personal standpoint. Yep. Okay. And this is yourself and the others that you associate yourself with that through the network, if you like. My older financial advisors and accountants, they had a lot of self-interest. All right. They were not client sort of focused, I guess.
Yeah.
And
good point.
I see the difference, mate.
Yes.
I see the difference.
Yeah. Thank you, Aaron. Yeah. Client's best interest is what drives all of the work we do.
Yeah.
And if it's the best for the client, then we can make a recommendation
100%.
Yeah.
Okay, well, just my thoughts. All right,
Yeah.
and with that, I think we will end the show. Thank you very much, mate. Always
That's a pleasure. Thank you for having me.
No problem. And as I say, the wealthbydesign.com.au. It's there on the screen. If you have any questions, get in contact there. You can book Jeff for a conversation. And
15 minutes, no charge.
no charge.
No charge.
Best price in
Yeah.
the world. Thanks for being part of Wealth by Design here on Edge Radio Australia.
We see an expert to check up on our health. We see an expert to check up on our car. Why don't we do the same with our finances? Jump online and book a free personal financial health check with Jeff Bowman from Wealth by Design. Knowledge is power. Follow the link on edgeradioaustralia.com. Design a future for you and your children. Wealth by Design.